Good morning. My name is Kent Burdett, and this is It's Time for a Rethink. What would you say the main challenge is that is facing the church today? For me, the main challenge facing the church is for it to stop functioning primarily as a religion, in the way that we have defined religion. Because we have defined religion primarily as that which deals with going to heaven after we die. Now, it will come as a shock to many people to be told that going to heaven after we die is not the main story that's being told in the Bible. It's not the main story of the New Testament. It's part of the story, and it's a small part of the story, an important part of the story, but it's still a small part of the story. In a nutshell, what is the story being told in the Bible is not the story of going to heaven after we die, but rather the story of God's remaking of the whole creation, of God liberating the world from the powers that presently hold it in captivity, and to release us from our bondage to death, and to remake the creation so that we will be back doing what we were originally created to do. So again, going to heaven after we die is only a small part of the story. But we've read the Bible as if it's the whole story being told. And so the task that is before us, as I see it, is to learn to read the scriptures in a different way. And for the sake of coming up with a better term, we've read the story of the Bible primarily from a religious perspective. I think it's time that we begin to read it primarily from a political perspective. And by politics, I mean simply that which pertains to this world and to this earth and to the way that things function and operate. This Sunday, the text that is before the church is the gospel text is John 14 verses 15 to 31. And this morning I'd like to just take us through a little exercise of reading the scriptures from two different perspectives. Jesus said in verse 15, "If you love me, you will keep my commandments." Now, what is it that our ears hear when we read those words? For a lot of people, what they hear is, if you truly love me, you will keep all my rules and regulations. Whether you believe that they're valid or not, you will still do them. So you'll be a good person. You'll be a good Christian. You'll be a good church person. And therefore you will be rewarded and you will go to heaven after we die. If we shift and read the text this morning from a political perspective, we hear the words, "If you love me, you will keep my commandments." Now, Jesus is not talking about going to heaven after we die. He's talking about remaking the world. Jesus has come not to save souls into heaven, but to liberate human beings from the powers and authorities and dominions, according to the biblical language, which hold us in captivity. And so we're in bondage to evil and to death. And so Jesus has come to create a new kind of world and to change the way the world operates. And so he says to his disciples, "If you love me, you will keep my commandments and you will work towards building the kind of world that I have put in motion." So Jesus' teachings are the blueprint for the new kind of world that he wants to see come into being. Then the text goes on to say, "And I will ask the Father, and he will give you another advocate to be with you forever. This is the Spirit of truth." As soon as we hear Spirit or Holy Spirit, we imagine that we are in strange territory. This is all mysterious stuff. But what Jesus is saying is as you are busy going about remaking the world, God will be with you. And the driving force that's seeking to accomplish the change in the world is not just you human beings, but it is God himself by His Spirit, God is working with us and is in us and amongst us, and He is the driving force to see the world transformed and changed. So this morning, again, what's the main challenge facing the church? The main challenge facing the church, from what I can see, is to learn to read the Bible from a political perspective, the perspective of God remaking the world, and then to set about the task of actually doing it. If you would like to follow up on today's message in any way, you can contact me at pressclerk@gmail.com. That's PRESCLERK @gmail.com. God bless. Have a great day.